Okay, I think we can get started, ladies and gentlemen. Um, I think we have given everyone about 8 minutes to conquer network problems, etc. Um, okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ntutsuko Shezi. I think all of you know me. Um, I'm the founder and CEO of Livestock Wealth. So today I'm presenting. I want to be brief. People always joke that I always say I'm going to be brief and never brief. But today I'm hoping that will definitely be really brief and uh, and get you guys back to your families as quickly as possible. All right. Okay. All right, let me share screen. Oh yeah, first some acknowledgements. I see some familiar faces there. Ivers, I see you there. Teddy, Clive, hi guys. Umpetse, thank you for joining. Thank you very much. All right, I hope you can all see me well. I'm at the I'm at one of our farms in KZN, so I'm out in the far away from Johannesburg today. All right, let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so our slide today is only 4 pages, so we'll be quick. But I think today, the aim of today is just to go through the numbers and explain the numbers, which we have shared with you guys. I think you did see on the invite, and we have shared the numbers there. Okay, let's go back to what brings us today. Okay, this is us over here. This is your farm in Chipese, Mosina, Limpopo. Still there, 577 hectares, 92 hectares on the ground, lemons, oranges, grapefruits. We had 4,121 units of farmland to be sold, and we still have some unsold, about 1,875 unsold, valued at 11.2. Our sales um, have been a little bit challenged, and I've got good news though, which is great. Um, the first thing that I want to share is that we are finally making headway with the FSDA, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority. You remember almost in January, on the 24th of Jan last year, they went out with a big bang of a press release, which creates a lot of confusion out there, and it presented a very negative picture of us. And then they commenced the investigation and had promised that in 90 days, which was supposed to be April 30, 2024, they will be complete. I'm happy to say that eventually we are almost at the conclusion of that investigation. They sent through their first preliminary reports, which we responded to, and we illuminated a lot of their mistakes and a lot of misconceptions that they had about our business. For example, they would just study the bank statement. They didn't even go to visit any of the farms. They were just doing a desktop study. For almost 2 complete years, they were just doing a desktop study which had really findings which are way off the mark. So happy to say that eventually they came back um, wanting to penalize us for the one thing of having the FSP number, which is the Financial Service Provider License number, on the Livestock World website. So they came back and say, okay, they're gonna want to fine us 50,000 rand for that. One for myself as a responsible person, and another one for the company. So basically, after 2 years of pain that and suffering that they have inflicted on us and our brand. They're coming back with, I think a face, in my view, it's a face saving fine, so that they cannot go back to people out there and say, for 2 years we found no wrongdoing, and then the only thing that they are finding against us is just that, which our lawyers are busy as well contesting as well, trying to eliminate to these guys that, hey, hang on, we've been cooperative. In fact, even that FSP number, we had removed it 3 months prior to that press release of theirs. So we have made a lot of headway there from the FSCA side. So I'm hoping that in the next 30 to 60 days, we will have a joint press conference with the regulator, where they would present their findings, and then we be able to get our lives back and be able to operate again with the confidence that we've had before, and that so that our investors as well and yourselves can continue having that confidence that you've had in us in the past. So that's a brief update there on the FSCA journey. It's been a very painful one, I must say, because our sales and everything else, for argument's sake, for example, like of the farmland units we've sold, we sold about 90% of them before the press release, before January 2024, and our sales pretty much ground to a halt between February 2024 and now. So it has had a severe impact on the business. We've had to reduce our staff by a good 80% at head office level. But fortunately, the farming operations have been going on, and here we are. We're still standing, which is good. Yeah. All right. So a bit of highlights since May. We finished exporting lemons. We finished exporting oranges. I think you've been following on the news feed. I'm not going to repeat what's been there. We're busy. We've already planted a lot of chilies that we are in the process of selling into Freshmark or ShopRite. So we're just busy with just dotting the T's and crossing the I's there, but the product is on the ground. We also finished with land prep for planting butternuts, and we've had really good progress with the Department of Agriculture. So they, like for example, this month they've given us as part of their they call it an expanded public works program, where they pay unemployed people that we recruit to come work at our farm. So in this case, we had 100 people busy helping us with some of the late harvesting we've just been doing now of those out of season lemons. Busy with sanitation, making sure the orchards are clean and beautiful, and also with some of the pruning and all the late prunings that we've had to do. Yeah. And then also of late as well, we've been invited to China by Standard Bank, because we're a client of Standard Bank. So I'm heading there. I'm heading there next in 2 weeks' time to exhibit at the China International Import Expo, and also there's another expo also adjoining to it called the Food and Hospitality Expo. That's the one that we're gonna be more focused on. So that's where we're gonna be exhibiting our products, the lemons, the oranges, the grapefruits, and also other products as well that we wanna develop for export as well. So there has been good progress since then. And I'm sure some of you as well have also seen the financials, which I'm going to jump into now. And then we'll conclude from there. And then I'll then open up the floor for questions. Okay. All right. So these are the financials for last year up to February 2025. So okay, you guys have seen these, I think, because I think they are part of the meeting invites. I think on the link there, please download them and have them, keep them there by yourselves. This is information that we're sharing with you because it's your farm after all. Okay, so so we'll just dump in a nutshell. Okay, so okay, so I'll try and explain these. I'll try and explain these numbers here to the best of my abilities. I know we've got many, I've got many experienced accountants and financial people here. So okay, so the good news is that okay, so this is so back between here, this is 2024 numbers and 2025. Okay, so what you see here, this is the assets of the farm. So this includes the purchase price of the farm. So we bought the farm for 15 million rand. The good thing is that the farm has now grown in value. It's our estimates now are estimating that what we bought for 15 million rand is now worth about 20 million rand. And then there's some depreciation, so they have to reduce the value of assets each year. So that's why on the 2025, it's 14.3 million rand. But if today we were to say, let's sell the farm and all go home and do whatever we were doing before we started the citrus farming, we would make a clean 5 million rand profit also on the selling of the farm. Okay, and then trade and other receivables. This is what's been owed to us. Here you'll see there's some funds that's like some refunds from SARS, from the revenue service that we were supposed to earn as well. Okay, and then share capital. So this is the investments that you guys have put in onto the farm. So as of February 2025, we had attracted about 9.9 million rands of investment from the likes of yourselves. And then what else? And then oh yeah, then in the last 2 years, so in 2024, we made a loss of about 2.6 million rand. Because the farm, we just got into it, there was a lot of investment that had to go in and hardly much income. So there was February 2024. And in February 2025, also made a loss of about 2.7 million rand. But we have over the period of time changed that picture, which we're gonna talk about in the next couple of minutes. Okay, then so the total equity and liabilities of 20.3 million rand. you see, there's loans from group companies. It's important to note this, that we've had to rely a great deal on livestock wealth to keep the farm afloat. Mostly, most importantly, we've had to rely also from other loans from other shareholders, from other investors as well, who have loaned the business money to be able to keep the farm afloat. So the good thing is, as much as we are nearly complete with paying off the farm, I think you did see there in my invite, but we do owe uh, um, livestock wealth quite a bit of money in that we've had to borrow from there to be able to make sure that this investment does not lose its timelines, and also we also had to borrow as well a great deal from the bank as well. Our bank, Standard Bank, has been very good and kind to us, giving us good overdraft facilities, and also bridging loan finance in between, just to keep us going. Because as you understand, the farm requires on average about 600,000 rand a month just as running costs. So that's about 7 million rand a year that you need to run the farm, give or take. That includes salaries, that includes fertilizers, that includes electricity, water, diesel, and all the other things that related to the day-to-day running of the farm. Because as you know, our farm has got 34 full-time staff members, and during picking season, when we have a lot of temporary workers, we go up to easily 100 staff members at the farm. Okay, and then all right, see, then in the 2024 year, that was the loss, which was the 2.6 million rand, and then the comprehensive loss for the year, which is this 2025 year, taking us to 76,000 rand net loss for the year. So the farm has not yet been profitable, but we are slowly getting to a point where we are going to be profitable. Okay, so that's the last year numbers which you have. Now I'm going to quickly jump to the ones for, there we go, and recent. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've shared with you this as well, which you've seen. Okay, so this is as of 30 September 2025. So this, you'll see, presents a much more detailed picture than in the past, than in the one that's in the financials from prior. So at this point in September, we had about 1.5 million rand owed to us, which was from our citrus sales. And then I think you saw there on the notes that I sent earlier that we actually did pretty good. We sold about 9 million rand worth of citrus, which is lemons and oranges and grapefruits, in the last financial year. And in terms of between the 7 months between March and September, which is when the citrus season starts. And then, but that excludes the costs of packing. So the top line in terms of what we actually sold in via our exporter was about 14 million rand in net turnover. Then they subtract their cost of packaging, the cost of transport from our farm to their pack house, and the cost of packing, the cost of transporting the fruits from the farm to the ports in Durban. And then that results in a net income for us of about 9 million rand. And then our cost of sales, I think you've seen before when we've talked about this, that we try as much as possible to run an extremely tight ship here. So we try and maintain our costs really low. So on chemicals, you'll see we have only about up to September, about 452,000 rand. There's been a lot more after that as we buying more sprays. And the beautiful thing here is that some of these costs here was covered by a grant from the Citrus Growers Association. So every time anyone exports a carton of oranges out of South Africa, there's a percentage of that carton income that goes towards the Citrus Growers Association, which is a body that represents all the citrus growers in South Africa. In total, South Africa exported about 12 or 13 billion rand of citrus in the last season. Our 14 million rand is a small percentage out of that, about 0.14% of that. So we are not too small. We are a proper player in this. And then so we are one of the biggest citrus suppliers out there. So they have a fund which granted us last year about 500,000 rand, and this year as well they've granted us exactly almost the same amount as well. And then electricity and water also quite pricey, but we've really done our best to manage that. And then post-harvest costs. In this case, this is excluding transport, and this is the heading we had from last year. So this is all the cost of the people we hire to harvest, the cost pertaining to everything after the product is ready to be harvested. So that's that. And then which there's about 3 million rand of costs, leaving a gross profit of about 6 million rand. Okay. Bank fees, consulting fees, repairs and maintenance. We've had some legal expenses, which I think you guys are aware of some of the legal troubles we've had with our neighbor farmer who's been giving our staff a hard time, intimidating our staff, etc. So we've been fighting that battle to this day, just to get justice there, to get our staff to be comfortable at the farm and not to feel intimidated at all. And then which about 524,000 rand worth of cost. So if you look at the year to date, so if the year were to end today, we would have a profit of about 6 million rand. But the year is not ending today, so there's still another 5 or 6 months to go between now and February. So the cost of electricity, the cost of labor, salaries, wages are still going to come through there. And then our forecast is that we will make a profit of just under 2 million rand when it comes to February 2026. So, which is a good thing in that it's presenting what we want to see, a picture of a well-run tight ship that is that is really has an eye on the costs, making sure that we keep a total eye on the costs to make sure that the farm is profitable, remains profitable. And then we have done a forecast. I'm going to be happy to share that with you guys as well just now of what we see the farm doing in the next 5 years. So I'm going to quickly just find that and then share it with you guys. If you just give me a second. Hold on. Just a second. Okay. Not that one, not that one. Just a second. Okay. All right, see, let me share. Okay, hold on, just one sec. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm almost there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let me share screen again. All right, let me, what I'll do is I'll start with here. Okay, this is important so that you guys can understand how a citrus farm makes money. It's extremely important. Okay, so this is 2026, 2027. So this is next year. So we have about 2 hectares of grapefruit, 30 hectares of lemons, 60 hectares of oranges. Okay, now the key to success in a citrus farm is this column here, which is your yield tons per hectare. So this is what is the weight of, basically it's the number of oranges in the tree, in each tree, and also the weight of each of those oranges. So that turns out to a tonnage per hectare. So this year, our yield for grapefruits was quite good, about 46,000 tons per hectare. So our grapefruits has been one of the very good performing crop. And on the lemons and oranges, we've been hovering at around 23,000 tons per hectare. But it is possible, and some farms have done it. Some of our neighboring farmers who've been in existence for much longer than us and with more resources than us, it is possible to go up to 60, sometimes 70 tons per hectare. So it really becomes a function of your fertilization program, how you fertilize, function of water, how you manage the water on each tree. It is a function of the age of the trees as well, how young or old the trees are, etc. So that's that. So I'm going to explain this. Once I've explained this first line here, the other lines work in exactly the same way. So, so in this case, we're expecting to get 100,000 100,000 kgs, which is 50 tons, 100 tons of of um, of grapefruit, and then 900 tons of lemons, and then one 1,800 tons of oranges. So that will take us to 2,800 tons, which is about 400 tons more, about 600 tons more than this year. So that's a very conservative estimate. We are aiming for more than that, but we've learned to be prudent so that we don't have too high expectations and not meet them. And then here, this is the pack out ratio here, which is a percentage. So of what we pack, 50% will be good quality to export, which would give us about 50,000 kgs of exportable fruits. And then the other 50,000 is lower quality, which then becomes juice. And then the lemons, we're expecting about 540 tons, and which is packable, which is 60% of the 900 tons. Then the other ones become juice. Now, lemon juice doesn't pay much. It's because there's not much of a demand for lemon juice. Because even yourself, the last time you drank lemon juice probably was quite a while back. But lemon orange juice, though, every time you go to the McDonald's or wherever, anywhere in the world, you are consuming it. Okay, so we estimating that next year we should be able to get to about 123,000 cartons of fruit. But we have in our internal and what we communicate out there is that this year we made about 78,000 cartons of fruit. We're estimating that we'll get to 95,000 cartons next year. But according to these estimates, which we did a few months back, we should get to about 123,000 cartons. Then that will give us a packed income of about 12 million rand, and then juice income of about 1.8 million rand, and then give us a net revenue of about 14 million rand. So that's our estimate for the coming year. But conservatively, if we're going from 9 million rand, I think we've downgraded this estimate further to about 12 million rand. So if we get to 12 million rand, we'll be happy. But if we get to 14, which is possible, we'll even be more happier as well. And then in the year after, 2027, 2028, we'll improve our yield by doing better because the trees will be much more used to the love and care, improve our pack out percentage, and then through that get to 16 million rand of revenue. And then in 2028, 2029, in 2030, improve that number further, taking us to 19 million rand and even 22 million rand. So basically, based on what we know now, in just citrus income alone, not even counting the vegetable ventures, just the citrus alone, that we will be able in the next 5 years have been able to double our income from the 9.8 million rand we did this year to about 22 million rand in 2031 or 2020, in 2031. And then our summary there, is that, as you can see here, February 2026, we're estimating that we will we will close off the year, but it should be just under 2 million rand. I think I think this forecast is a little bit out because I think I was a little bit optimistic on it, but our conservative estimate is that we will close off the year with about a 2 million rand profits at the end of February next year. And then in February 2027, we'll be able to gradually increase that profit. And if we were to maintain the optimistic estimate that in about 5 years' time, the farm cumulatively would have been able to return about 46 million rand in income. This is before tax, which will account for the losses that we've incurred in the previous years. The first 2 years were rough. I think we did say as well that the first 2 years, no one must expect to receive any money because we are definitely hard pressed. But from year 3, which is the year now that we are on now, then things are starting to take shape. So, in a nutshell, that is how we've managed the business, and we have a very small team that we're still hoping going to maintain it that way. But as the business grows and as we expect more, we'll increase our team as well slightly, just to be able to be able to drive more resources towards us pushing to meet the targets that we have. Yeah. So I'm going to pause there and allow for questions. If anyone has got a question or a comment, we've shared the financials, we've shared the management accounts as well on the on your accounts, on your farm book, so you can please download that and have a read there. I think we are also recording this. We'll share this recording as well. And then what else as well? Oh yeah, while we're there, I think we did mention that we have not yet fully paid for the farm. So there's only about 4.9 million rand remaining to pay for the farm. And what we are doing now is raising funding. So we've applied to the banks. We've applied to Standard Bank for a loan to be able to cover the remaining amounts. And also we have also asked the seller, which is Absa Bank, through Safe Farm Ventures, the company we bought the farm from, to reduce the amount owing on the farm to 2.1 million rand as a full and final settlement. So we've also done that as well, just but in business you always ask. If you don't ask, you never get. So with the busy considering our request, and if that's accepted, we optimistic that in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, we will have full title to the farm, and we'll gladly share a copy of the title deed as well onto the farm for you guys to see the fruits of our labor. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell there from myself. I've got Tuli here from the team. I think we should have Temba as well. Temba here. I don't see him. Yeah, the farm manager at the farm is also here. But yeah, I'm going to open the floor for any question or comment. Please, over to you. Okay, anyone can just go ahead and unmute if there's any question.
Okay, people are adding questions on the chat, Mr. Shezi. We have to manually unmute.
Yes, okay,
So,
got you.
yeah.
Okay. When can we visit the farm? Please, anyone can visit the farm anytime, even tomorrow morning. You can just let us know that you want to go to the farm. We are easy to find on Google. Let me show you how to find us. Let me share screen quickly. Okay, so if you Google Hope Farm, Hope Farm, Chipisa, Chipisa, is that right? Oh, Hope Packhouse there. Hope Packhouse. Yeah, Hope Packhouse, which is our Packhouse, which you've seen. That is us over there. So please, you can just pop in anytime. Just let us know so that we can have a cup of coffee and a cup of tea. If Google listed as my phone number over there. Yeah, so you can start driving anytime. And our colleagues there, Temba, Lebo, will make sure that you are most welcome when you get to the farm. And then we have about 7 million rand in liabilities and expect to make 4 to 6 million rand profit for a year. So the first dividend might happen in 2028. That's correct. That's correct, investor. So our goal first and foremost is to make sure that we square up with everyone who's come to our rescue to pay off debts, to make sure we don't owe anyone. And I think if you've been one of our biggest supporters, and we are really thankful for that. So I know that your payment is due in March next year. So we'll make sure we don't disappoint. We'll make sure that in March next year we are ready. So which is why then I think now the beauty with what we've done is that we have a profitable entity that has got a title deed which has increased in value from 15 bar to about 20 bar, and which will keep increasing in value as we add more expertise to it, as we get more grant funding. We're busy with a lot of grant fundings. I think in the last 3-4 months, we've applied for about 40 million rands of grant fundings. So every possible government facility, whether it's the BBDSP, I think we applied for 25 million rand grant there to improve our pack house. Also, there's a clean energy, agro energy fund as well, to change our electricity to solar. I think we're busy submitting the application for that. I think we're applying for about a 4 million rand grant there. So we're using every possible tool, which is what government has made available for us to improve the farm and add value to it. So in that way, then in fact, of all the investments that we've had in livestock world, and everything how we've done it in the past, um, the ability to have want full control of the farm in terms of our staff, full title to the farm, and ability to have financials of the farm, has really shown us the power of what we can do in that. Even though we could only get about half of the investment we hope to get, we've been able through various engineering, through debt, through equity, to be able to nearly fully fund the farm. So I think if I look at the work that we've done as livestock over the last 10 years, I think this is a very good template in terms of how we should look at all the other investments we're doing. In fact, because even if all the cattle farms were exactly operating in the same way, where we're not just buying a cow on the farm, but we're buying the farm with the cattle, and then also even if it's macadamia, we're not just buying the tree, but we're buying the macadamia, the farm, and the macadamia on it, and operating the farm. So it's a much slower way of growing that one, in that, with the way we had it was partner farmers and being able to be the platform only, where we're just the middlemen. But we've lost a lot of money that way, where farmers have just stabbed us in the back and ran away with some of your money, and then we're busy chasing them left and right. But but with the way that we've done this, really, for me, I think I'm more confident that now we can just repeat exactly the same what we've done for maybe 5, 6 more citrus farms, hopefully in the same area, some of them, and then go to the next area. If it's a table grape farm, do exactly the same. If it's another type of high value export crop, do exactly the same. Because then there we have the land, which goes up in value. We've got the operations of the business. So if we're operating well, managing costs nicely, then the banks love us. We're able to raise more money to increase and grow the farm. And then then we've got the product at the top, which is the oranges or the butternuts and whatever else we can add on top of that farm as well. So I think we've been able to create that template, which so far I'm really happy with. Yeah. Okay, and then when is the press briefing to clear the misconception by the regulator? So for now, we're not yet out in the press yet on that. We want to walk lockstep with the regulator. So we've got a very professional and highly expensive legal team helping us there, and we are hopeful that we are near the end of this, maybe a month or so, that we'll be able to then say this thing is behind us. So, but so far, we happy with where they are, because I think I've always said that we think that they overreacted, and then maybe I don't believe that they were acting in malice, or I think they just jumped the gun and now trying to just when you first what's the word, arrest, and then after arresting find evidence. I think they try to do that. So I think that's what really happened here. Yeah, but we're confident that we'll come out tops there. And then I said there's 17 on our group call. I wonder how many of us have joined together to invest. So everyone of here who's here, Johnny is an investor in the farmland. So everyone who's here is part of the farm. I know some other people can't make it. That's why we record it, so make sure that it's available for people to watch at their own leisure. So we have I think about 562 individual investors who are invested in farmland. So there's 562 of you guys, and okay, 17 on the call here, but still, I think um, we we're going to continue with the engagement and make sure that we have these every 3 months, 6 months at the most, to keep you in the loop in terms of how we're doing, and also to encourage you to buy more farmland as well, so that we can be able to do more with the little that we have. The status of the legal battle with our not so friendly neighbor. So with our neighbor, we actually because I strongly believe that there's been a lot of bribery and corruption, where I personally think that either the police have been paid off by this guy. I wouldn't rule out the magistrates and the prosecuting authority. I wouldn't rule that out, because no one can commit a crime against a same person and get 3 bails. So this guy, first we got him arrested for stealing water from our farm with underground pipes and stealing our packaging and all that. Then he got bail. Then while he was out on bail, he almost killed Temba by ramming him with the car. I think I did share with you guys that. I think I did share. I think. Let me see. I'll share with you guys the link there. Let me see. Oh yeah, there. I've posted it there I'm posting it there on the comments. So while he was out on bail, then while he's out on bail, he rams Temba's car, almost destroys the car. Luckily, Temba was able to avoid it and record it on video. And then the police give him bail again for that. And then after that, we got a restraining order, protection order against him and his son to not insult, intimidate our staff. And then he breaks the protection order again, which had an automatic warrant of arrest. So if he was doing that, he's supposed to have been immediately arrested and put to jail and all his bail revoked. And then the police give him free bail. They allow him to just walk for free. So I inquired that with the NPA, the prosecutors, and they write a sorry note saying, sorry, we will train our staff to make sure they cancel bail in the future, blah, blah, blah. So what we've done now, hence the legal fee that you see there, is actually now compel the NPA to arrest this person and just make sure he's out of society as well. So we've it's been one of those very disturbing things of how our justice system. I'm sure you can see it on the press with the Madlanga Commission and Mkhwanazi admissions and Parliament. What we've seen those things firsthand. Where jail time is only for those who don't have money, and everyone else who's got money is able to just walk over everyone. So now we've had to fight. So like I've had to fight so that my staff feel that they are looked after, they are protected, that the company is looking after them as well. Temba is still going doing psychology counseling. I think every 2 weeks he needs to drive 3 hours to a psychologist, just to make sure that he keeps sane from nightmares, depression, and whatnot. Who's our farm manager, doing a great job, brilliant guy. So, but our job has just been to make sure he's protected well, and looked after. So we're hoping that I've also written to the president about this as well, and the presidency as well about the same matter. I'm hoping that the wheels of justice grind a little bit faster on this one. Okay. All right. So then, who is liable to have the title deed of the farm? Okay. So the title deed of the farm, very easy, guys. We created a separate company called Department of Farming, a PTY Ltd, which is the title holder of the farm. Now, Livestock Wealth is the shareholder of Department of PTY Ltd, and yourselves, through Livestock Wealth, are then shareholders there or unit holders in that farm. So that's how we've simplified things, so that every time there's a resolution that needs shareholders, we don't have to call each and every one of you, all 562 of you, to say, okay, sign this one, sign this one. So then you, through Livestock Wealth, you are then shareholders of the farm. Okay. And then and it's important to say that, you know, we've registered the farm separately from Livestock Wealth, so that it's insulated from Livestock Wealth, so that, you know, it's a standalone entity, a separate legal person, which is which exists outside of Livestock Wealth. It's got its own assets, its own liabilities, separate from Livestock Wealth. Okay, what's the expansion plan, and to which other farm-based assets are we intending to venture to during the next 5 years? Thank you, the leaders. I think the playbook is, as I've said, is going to be repeat what we've done. You know, for me, what we've done with this farm is like as much as there's a lot of investment in the farm, as it's you know, you lose sleep, you know, like last year I was losing sleep trying to raise the funds to pay off the seller when they were threatening to cancel the deal and blah blah blah. You know, remember how stressed I was. I think I lost 10 pounds. I was I was thin as a toothpick at the time. Yeah, so but I think overall, I think I've mastered the formula now. And you know, they say in business, what you need to do is find a formula that works, and then repeat, and then repeat. So I think now I think we've got a handle. So if someone were to wake us up in the morning at 3 minutes past 12 and say, Shezi, here's a citrus farm, go run it. Then we'll brush our teeth and just go there, you know, with some tractors, and we'll just make things happen. You know, because, you know, like, you know, having done it for 2.5, almost 2 years full now, since October 2023. Yeah, it's 2 years full. I think now it's second nature. So what we'll do is we'll repeat the same. So it could be different kind of farms, but it will be a self-contained farm, and then unitize each farm separately. Each farm as a standalone entity. Then each farm has got its own risk rewards, insulated into one, and is ring fenced into one. I think that's really the way we're going to do it going forward. There's less headaches as well. There's less headaches. I think you know, the one thing in business I've learned, the idea is not to have headaches. The idea is to do something it becomes easier and just repeat, and then scale from there. So that's what we're doing. So are you saying to expect money at least from year 3 of investing? Yes. So as we had said in the brochure, the Farmland brochure, this year we'd expected to break even, but it looks like we'll make a profit, which will not be enough to cover the borrowings we've had to do. So, but from 2028, February 2027, we should be cooking with gas. I think then we'll all be smiling there. I think even people who did not invest in farmland will be kicking themselves for not doing it. I think this is, for me, I say this with no fear of contradiction. Of all the things we've done in livestock world, whether it's cattle, whether it's this one has got a lot more stability. Yes, it's quite difficult to run, but once you've cracked it, then it's a piece of cake. We just repeat. So we're gonna do exactly the same. Whether it's a cattle farm that we buy, it's got cattle, and then the next thing is a vegetable farm. We buy, put equipment, cattle. Then we're also able to raise funding specifically for that farm. So I think that's how we're going to then do it for all the other ones. Have you now ring-fenced the finances between the entities, because this was the issue on the other in the last team session? For the farmland investment, yes. For the other investments that we've done, the cattle, the gardens, we have not yet been able to get to the point where we've fully ring fenced, but we are working towards it. So I think some of it will require us to raise a lot of funding from a livestock wealth perspective. So in terms of equity share sale, which is something that when this dust is settled, we'll be able to sell shares in the livestock business, and then we can be able to use that money to buy out investors and in the model that we've had, which is an individual cow in a separate farm, and then we can then do the ring fencing now, where we then say, okay, here's a cattle farm with cattle, buy into it. So I think that's how we're going to be able to do that. So short answer there, it's a journey, but we're going to get to it. Yeah. All right, and then okay, on the cattle and the gardens, I think we have addressed that in the previous for the gardens. We've frozen all withdrawals for the gardens until December, January. That's when we're going to be paying off new profits, because now what we've just done is just stabilize the ship, just make sure that the ship is stable, and most importantly, we've also just had to make sure that we at least this has been our biggest investment, the farmland, to make sure that the farmland is stable. So we're confident that in the next 3-4 months, we should have all ducks in a row across all other business units. Just everything really cooking with gas. It's been hell just keeping things going and keeping things steady. But we're confident we are almost there. Yes, on the gardens, yes, the 660 versus 250. Yes, on the tax certificates we fixed that. I think it's just saying on our statements you are declaring 660 as profits, whereas it should be 250. We have addressed that. So when we calculate your profit in terms of tax on the tax certificate, we have addressed that more, but I'm happy to engage further on that one as well. Yeah. Okay, guys, I know we've gone past time, but I hope we've been able to answer and provide clarity and comfort as well, that you guys are safe, that we are shepherding the sheep, and we are turning it in the right direction. And yeah, we'll share the recording. We'll put it onto just like we do, onto the news feed there as well. So please look out for that in the next day or so. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.